Hamlet is, in my opinion, one of Shakespeare's most interesting plays, one of the most interesting tragedies. And I feel like every time I go back to it, I learn something new. There's just so many layers to the story.
Yeah. So we hope that you can find a little bit of meaning in our play. And a part of this, the sort of goal of the Shakespeare Troupe is to make Shakespeare accessible to all types of people. So this includes understanding. So if you look in the program, there's like a summary of all the acts and scenes, so if you ever get confused as to what's going on, because language, you can check that. I do want to point out some safety things. There is an emergency exit exit, and one that way, that way, that way. I swear it makes sense. There's a lot of sense. I also do want to say to please keep your mask on, because this is a very tiny space. And also there is a use of a fog machine, so if you have asthma or anything like that, just keep that in mind. Am I forgetting anything?
I think that's it.
Okay.
We hope you all enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Stand up! Who's there?
Friends to this ground.
And leashmen to the day. The law, Bernardo. Say, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him?
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus. This thing appeared again tonight. I have seen nothing. Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not believe take hold of him. Therefore, I've entreated him along with us to watch him into the night, that if again his apparition comes, he may approve our eyes and speak to him.
Tush, tush. He will not appear.
Sit a while, and let us once again assail your ears what we have two nights seen.
Well, sit we down and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made its course to illumine that part of heaven where it now burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Oh, haste! Break me up! Look! Where it comes again! Louder, scholar! Speak to Horatio!
Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like it. Harrows me with fear and wonder.
Hush it!
Would be spoke to.
What art thou, that usurps this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of very Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak.
What is offended?
See, it stalks away.
Speak, speak, I charge thee.
It is gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. 'Tis not something more than fantasy.
For my God, I cannot believe this without the sensible and sure vouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
So thou art to thyself. 'Tis strange.
As twice before, in March of his dead hour, and much of stock hath it gone past our watch.
Soft! Lo! Behold, it comes again. I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay! Illusion. If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there can be anything that can be done, that can do ease and grace to me, speak. Thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing can avoid. Oh, speak.
'Tis gone!
It was about to speak before the cock crew.
And then it vanished like a guilty thing under a fearful summons. But look, the morn, in russet mantle clad, breaks we our watch up. And my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet, for the Spirit, mute to us, will speak to him.
Let's do it, I pray. As this morning, though, we may find most conveniently.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, we with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, imperial joyers to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with mirth in funeral and dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. For all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France. From whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes went again toward France, and bow to your gracious leave and pardon.
Your father's leave. What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by labor subdivision. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Laertes, take thy fair hour, time be thine, and may thy best graces spend them at thy will. And now, my cousin, Hamlet, and my son.
Little more than kin and a little less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
I know what you say, Lord. I'm too much in the sun.
Oh, good Hamlet, cast thine ugly color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy bed that seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowst 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems. Nay, it is, madam, I know not seems. For I am not alone in this inky cloak, good mother, nor in this forced superitions of windy breath, nor in the dejected haggard of visage that all forms, shapes, and moods of grief denounce me truly, all with this passing time of show that suits and trappings of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father, but you must know. Your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a father. As for your intended going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, bend you, to remain here, in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Come, Gertrude, this gentle, unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling in my heart.
Oh, that this too flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into the dew. Then the everlasting should canonize self-slaughter. Oh, God. And to be stale, flat, unprofitable, and weary than all this plays in the world. Oh, God. Had it been so, and only for 2 months, nay, not even 2 months. So excellent a king we had, like Hyperion to the satyr. So loving a mother was it thou, that when the wind brushed against her face, it not be too rough. But then, and she, a What beast that would want a discourse would have mourned for longer? She married my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like him than I to Hercules. Not even a month go by that in these galled eyes the salt had stopped flowing. Nothing good shall come of this. What's up, my heart? I promise hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
My dear Horatio! Or do I forget myself?
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
We shall change your name with you. And we'll come you for Wittenberg, dear Horatio.
A truant disposition, good my lord.
I shall not have that sort of violence against my ear. I know you are no truant. But when make you, we will teach you to drink deep ere your part.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
Do not mock me, fellow student. I think you were here to see my mother's marriage.
Oh, it did fall hard upon.
The funeral baked meats who coldly furnished the marriage tables. My father. Oh, methinks we see my father.
Oh, where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all, I shall never set my eyes upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father?
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear, while upon the witness of this gentleman, I deliver this marvel to you.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
2 nights together had the gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, in the dead vast in middle of the night, on their watch been thus encountered. A figure, like your father, appears before them. Their solemn march goes slow and stately by them. This to me, in dreadful secrecy did they impart, and I was with them the 3rd night they kept the watch, where, as they had delivered, the apparition comes. My lord, I knew your father. These hands were not more alike.
Where was this?
My lord, on the platform where we watched.
Did thou speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none.
This is very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think it went down our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed. But this troubles me so. I would have been there to watch it.
Would have much amazed you.
Stayed along.
While one with moderate haste might tell 100,
I shall stand there tonight. Perchance it will walk again.
warrant it will.
And if it does, and assumes the form of my noble father, I shall speak to it. But pray tell, as I hope you have already concealed it, remain only in silence about this. I shall join you up upon the platform tonight betwixt the hours of 11 and 12.
Our duty to your honor.
I got you with ye. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. I have a word for tonight. This foul curse over men's eyes. It does overwhelm the earth.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convoy is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, holdeth a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primary nature, forward not permanent, sweet not lasting, the perfect incipience of a minute no more.
No more. But so?
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now. Perhaps now no soil nor cotton doth besmirch the virtue of his will, but you must fear. His greatness, Wade, his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and hold you in the rear of your affection, out of the shock and danger of desire. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. It includes self-rebels and what else there.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven. Well, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads and wrecks on his own ring.
Fear me not. I stay too long, but here our father comes.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame, the wind sits to the shoulder of thy sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but view thy voice. Costly thy habits as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man, they in France, of a most excellent rank and station, are select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls at the edge of husbandry. And this above all, to thine own self be true, and as it follows, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Thy blessing be thee. Farewell.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord. Farewell, Ophelia, and remember what I've said to you.
'Tis in my memory locks, and you yourself shall hold the key of it.
What is it, Ophelia, that he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Now you know me doth. He's told to me that he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself of your audience hath been most free and bounteous. If it be so as this put on me, then in that way of caution I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my daughter and your honor. Well, what is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath of late given many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? You speak like a green girl. Do you believe these tenders, as you call them?
I know not, my lord, what I should think.
Maddie, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have taken these tenders with true pay and are not stirring. Tender yourself more dearly, or not to crack the wind of the poor phrase, learning it thus. You'll tender me a fool.
My love, my lord, he has importuned me with love in an honorable fashion.
Oy vey, fashion. Go to.
And given countenance to his speech with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, as springes to catch woodcocks. I do know, when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, you must not take for fire. From this time forth, be something scanter of your maiden presence, since your entreatments in higher rank than command of Barbie. For Lord Hamlet believes so much in him, that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk, and will be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows. This is for all. I would not, from this time forth, have you talk or give words with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it. I charge you. Come your best.
I shall obey, my lord.
assuredly it is very cold.
It's a nipping and eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks at 12.
Then draws near the hour, where the spirit hell is wont to walk.
Look, my lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thy intense chariot or wickable. You come in such a questioning shape, then I must speak to thee. I will call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal Dane. Oh, answer me. Let me not first my ignorance, but why hast thou in thy canonized bones, hearts in death, burst from the cerements? At the sepulchre, at the ponderous and marble jaw, I pushed you up from. What does this mean? Why is this? Where to? What should we do?
It beckons you to go with it, as if it's impartmented desire to you alone.
Though it would curse action, it waves you to a far removed ground. But do not go with it.
By no means.
You will not speak to me, so I must follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should I have to fear? I do not set my life upon a pin's feet, and for my soul, such an warm beating is itself, it cannot do much. It beckons me still. I must follow it.
But what if it lead you to the summit of a cliff, or the edge of the flood?
It beckons me again. Go on, I'll follow thee.
Do not go, my lord.
Hold off thy hands! My fate cries out. Heaven, I'll make it go to the man who lets me. Go on, I'll follow thee.
UX is desperate with imagination.
Let's follow him. It's not fit thus to obey him. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow him.
Wherein does that lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me. My time is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, till the foul crimes done in days of my nature are burnt and purged away. I could a tale unfold, whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood. But this eternal blazon must not be to years of flesh and blood. List, list, O list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love.
Oh God.
Revenge is most foul and unnatural. Murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, and in the best it is. But this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to it. I shall with wings as swift as meditation or thoughts of love speak to my revenge.
Now, Hamlet, here. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterous beast, with witchcraft of his wit and traitorous gifts. Oh, wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce one to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sins, unhoused, disappointed, unaneled, no reckoning made, but sent to my account, with all my imperfections on my head. Oh horrible, most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a house for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Remember me.
Oh, by the heavens. Oh, earth. What should become of next? Hell? I be too with it. But grow not old, my sinews. Bear me up stiffly. Ah, yes. It is remember thee. In thy distracted globe, remember thee. Why, for God, I shall wipe from my mind all trivial fond matters, and only alone will stand his commandment. Smiling, damned villain! Oh, damned villain! And to smile, and to be a villain! For thus, I that is to stay here in Denmark, that would be my uncle! But now, to my words. It is adieu, adieu, remember me. I have sworn it!
Lord Hamlet!
Heaven secure him!
So be it.
How is it, my lord?
Oh, wonderful!
Oh, speak of it, Lord.
No, you shall reveal it.
Not I, my Lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
I, to be in man's heart, may think, but you'll keep a secret?
I, by heaven.
No. We shall shake hands and depart, and you, following your business and desires as business and desires often do, and I, for the poor man, shall kneel down and pray.
These are wild and whirling words.
I meant not to offend you heartily.
There's no offense.
Oh, but Horatio, there is by St. Patrick's, and a great offense too. I was touched upon by this visitation, and for the word of the ghost you can trust it thus. But I have one poor request to make of you. Friends, scholars, soldiers, please heed me.
What is it, my Lord? We will.
Never make it known what you have seen here tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, swear it, upon my dagger.
My lord, we have sworn already.
Never speak of what you have seen here tonight, upon my dagger.
Swear!
Rest, perturbed spirit.
Day and night, this is wondrous strange.
Therefore you should welcome as a stranger, Horatio. There is more to heaven and earth that is dreamt of within your philosophies. Come, we shall go in together. But keep thy fingers firmly placed against the lips. The cursed spirit that I was born to set such things right. Come, we go in together.
Give Laertes this money and these notes, Osric.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvelous wisely, good Osric, to make inquire of his behavior before you visit him.
My lord, I did intend it.
Take you, as it were, some distant knowledge of him. As in, I know his father and his friends, and impart him. Do you mark this, Osric?
I very well, my lord.
And impart him, you may say, but not them. But if it be he, I mean, oh, he's very violent, addicted, so and so. And they are put on him for the forgeries you please. He closes with you in this consequence, so good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman. He closes you with this. I know that gentleman. I saw him yesterday or the other day. There was a gaming, and he was there, overtook in his rouse. See you now. Thus by this bait of falsehood, we take much courage of truth, and and so do we of wisdom and of reach by indirections find directions out. And so, by my former lecture and advice, shall you, my son. You have you not?
I have, my lord.
God be with you. Very well. Observe his inclination in thyself.
I shall, my lord.
Farewell.
Oh, my lord, I have been so frightened!
With what, in the name of God?
Oh, my lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, his knees knocking together, and with a look so piteous and pervert as if he'd been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to all the length of his arm, whilst with his other hand falling thus o'er his brow, he falls to such a perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. He raised his eyes so piteous and profound, and then, with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, to the last bending their light on me.
Mad. Or thy love?
Oh, my lord, I do not know, but I do fear it.
Go we to the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property fordoes itself and leads to filled desperate undertakings, whose up is any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. But have you given them any hard words of late?
No, but my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and deny his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I'm sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle and meant to wreck thee. Come, go we to the king.
Welcome, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we did much long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? I entreat you both that you vouchsafe your rest here at our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and together, so much as from occasion you may glean, whither aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that open lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, we have much talked of you, and sure I am to men there are not living to whom you more accuse. Which shall please you to show so much gentry and goodwill, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more to command than to entreat.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bend, to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz, and I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
I assure my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, to my God and to my gracious king. And I think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak on that I do long to hear.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death an hour or hasty marriage.
My liege and madam, to expostulate, but majesty should be what duty is by day is day, night, night, and time is time for nothing but the waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the sole fit, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad.
More matter with less art.
I swear, madam, I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. His pity, 'tis true, and pity, 'tis true. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect. For this effect effective comes by cause. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautiful Ophelia, in her excellent white bosoms.
Came this from him to her?
Good madam, be patient. Stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I live. Thy nevermore, most dear lady, while this machine is to him, Hamlet. This and more above hath my daughter given me, as they fell out by time, by means and place, all given to my ear.
Yes, but how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. But I went round to work, and my young mistress thus did I bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince. Out of thy star, this must not be. And then my prescripts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, and with no messengers, receive no tokens. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, thence to a fast, thence to a watch, thence to a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think this?
It may be very like, but how may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby. At such a time, I lose my daughter to him, be you and I behind an hour stand.
We will try it.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I beseech you both, away. I will board him present. Oh, give me leave. How does my Lord Hamlet?
Well, God's mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Aye, then you would, were you so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Ah, yes, indeed. For to be honest a man is to be 1 in 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
To be in the sun, breeding the dead maggots and dead dogs. And this God-kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Tell her to stay out of the sun. Conception is a blessing indeed, but for your daughter to conceive, see to it, my good friend.
Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. He is far gone. What do you read, my lord?
Oh, words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. Written by the satirical rogue. Writes about old men who have long gray beards, wrinkles in their face, that their eyes should flush out ambers and plum tree gum, and they have providential lack of wit.
Though this be madness, there is method in it. But you walk out of the air, my lord.
In my grave.
Indeed, that's out of the air. Well, I will most humbly take my leave of you, my lord.
Do not take of anything from me which I have already departed withal. Except my life, except my life, except my life.
Very well, my lord.
This tedious old fool.
My honored lord! Most dear lord!
Hi, good friends! Dear Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, how good it is to see you both. How dost thou?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
What's the news?
Not my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Aye, the doomsday approaches. But your news is inherently false. I must ask you, what have you done to be deserved by the good hand of fortune to be sent to such a prison?
Prison, my lord?
Indeed, Denmark is a prison.
That is the world's one.
A goodly one. One with many dungeons, confines, and wards. With Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Aye, and if there should be eaten none, for is neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it thus. To me, this is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
By heaven, I could be bound into an infinite nutshell, made a king, had I not for these bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
A dream is but a shadow. Ah, by the beaten way of friendship, what come you for Absalom?
To visit you, my lord.
Oh,
No other occasion.
Indeed. So you have no inclination, you were not sent for, you come on your own visitation. Ah, come, come, speak to me justly. Come, may speak.
What say you?
I shall keep my eye on them. If you love me, hold me off.
My lord, we were sent for.
Ah, indeed. And I shall speak on it, so my anticipation will not make any discovery. I have of late lost all my mirth. I have foregone all customs of exercise, and my goodly frame upon this earth has become a sterile commoditory. Oh, what a piece of work is a man, the paragon of animals, the beauty of the earth. But to me, it is the quintessence of dust. Man delights me not. Nor woman neither. Though by your smiles you may seem to think it so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Then why did you laugh when I said man delights me not?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from
We
you.
encoded them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
What players are they?
Even the ones who are wont to take such delight in, the tragedians of the city.
They're the players.
Good gentlemen, you are welcome here in Arsenal. But I must make the distinction clear. My Aunt Mother and Uncle Father are deceived.
In what, my lord?
I'm only mad by north-northwest. When the wind is suddenly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
They'll be with you, gentlemen.
Yes, it was a business one Monday morning, was it indeed?
My lord, I have news for you.
My lord, I have news for you. When Narcissus was an actor in Rome.
My lord, the players are come hither. The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, historical comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral.
Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure hast thou!
A treasure had he, my lord.
He had one fair daughter that he loved passingly so.
Still on my daughter.
Gentlemen, I'm so glad to see you in such good faith. My good lord, may you see that these players are well bestowed. I do beseech you, see that they are well used. It is worse in death to have a bad epitaph than in life to have an ill report.
Come, sirs.
My good friends, you are welcome. We shall have a show tomorrow. My good friend, in the back. Does thou know the murder of Gonzago?
I know.
And suppose if I was to set down 12 dozen or 16 lines, you could insert them and have them for the show tomorrow.
I know.
We shall have a show. Now go on, follow the Lord, and I pray mock not. My good friends, you're welcome here in Arsenal.
Good, my lord.
God be with ye. And now I'm alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. How monstrous is it that a player, but in a work of fiction, a dream of passion, could force from their soul such a conceit? Tears in their eyes, no distraction in their aspect, a broken voice, and in their visage, all be such conceit. And for what? For nothing! Oh, for Hecuba! And he to Hecuba, and Hecuba to him, for that should weep. But I, a dull and muddy metal rascal, peak, for upon this kingdom, for I am no king, that upon this property in his own dear life did he suffer such a damned defeat. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my painted cross. Sploods. Had I, against this oppression, to reset. But I am pigeon-livered and I lack gall, and that makes the oppression bitter. Oh, the bloody, bawdy villain, treacherous, lecherous, kindless, merciless villain! Oh, vengeance! Oh, what an ass am I. Oh, foe, fly above my brain. Oh, indeed, yes, I have heard that upon the viewing of the scene, those with guilty consciences did proclaim their malfactions, and murder, though it has no tongue, shall become a miraculous organ. I shall have the players put upon the murder of my father from my own uncle. I shall watch his face, I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I'll know my course. This play is a thing that will show the conscience of the king.
And can you, by no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman, but with much forcing of his disposition.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we o'erwrought on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They have already ordered this knight to play before him.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him further edge, and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us two, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that here, as for by accident, he may affront Ophelia. We'll gather by him as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love, or know that thus he suffers for it.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do hope that your happy beauties be the good cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your armies.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walking here, gracious to please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book that such a show of exercise will color your loneliness. I hear him, my lord. We must away.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against the sea of troubles by opposing end them. To die, to sleep no more, and by this sleep, end the heartaches and 1,000 natural shocks which flushes air too. This is a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep. To sleep. Perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. That in this sleep of death, where dreams might come, and to shuffle off this mortal coil to give us pause. 'Tis a certain respect of calamity that make it so long and live. For who amongst men shall suffer the scorns and lashes of time, when he himself might to Quintus make? There's a certain dread of what comes after death, in this undiscovered territory that travelers of men shall never return. It puzzles the will. It makes us burials against ourselves and fly off to others we not know. Therefore, conscience does make a coward of us all. Oh, but fair Ophelia, nymph my oars, be my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor to this many a day?
Well, well, well.
My lord, I have some remembrances of yours that I have long longed to deliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not mine, I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, You know right well you did. And with them, words of such sweet breath that made things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord.
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
Why, if you be honest and fair, then your honesty should have no discourse for your beauty.
Could honesty, my lord, have any better commerce than with beauty?
Aye, sure. For sooner will beauty transform honest into a bawd, and the force of honesty shall translate beauty into itself. For sometimes this was a paradox, but now time has given a proof. I loved you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
And you should not have believed me. For virtue cannot inoculate its own stock, and yet you relish in it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Aye, indeed. You should get thee to a nunnery. Why should thou be a breeder of more sinners? I myself have been indifferent to it, but one could accuse me of such things my mother should not have borne me. I am proud, I am ambitious, I am revengeful, and what should a fellow such as I, roaming about this earth, in heaven, do? We are all arrant knaves, believe none of us. Now get thee away to a nunnery, and quick. And where is thy father?
At home, my lord.
Tell him to close up his doors and lock it in so that he may only be a fool inside. If you are to marry, marry only a fool, for wise men know what monsters you make of us. Now get thee to a nunnery, and quick!
Oh. What a noble mind is here o'erthrown. Soldiers, courtiers, scholars, eye, tongue, and sword. The rose and expectancy of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his sweet music vows, now see that most noble and sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, an unmatched form and fashion of lone youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, who've seen what I've seen, see what I see.
Love, his affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits on brood. He shall speak to England. Happily the seas and countries different, variable objects, shall expel this something settled matter in his heart. What think you on it?
It shall do well, but yet, my lord, I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let the queen, his mother, all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or to find him, for your wisdom best should think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
You speak the speech as I've set it down for you. Aye, do not swell out the hand with the air, but do it gently, and by all torrents, tempests, and whirlwinds of passion, be thy temperance in all their smoothness.
I warrant, your honor.
Aye, but mean you to no tame either. Let disorder be your tutor. Set the action to the word and the word to the action. Aye, indeed. And those amongst you that are clowns, let them only speak what has been written. Now go get ready for the show. Why, ho, Horatio!
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Aye, Horatio, ever a man has been cope withal within conversation.
Oh, dear lord,
Do not think I flatter you. I do not have any advancements on it. Aye, but then my own soul will be the mistress in searching for her own elections. Give me the man that is not a passion slave, and I shall hold him in my heart of hearts, as I do such thou. But something else of it. You know that we shall have a show tonight, and I will show the circumstances in which my father was murdered. I pray you, when the scene comes on, look upon my uncle's face, and we shall reconvene at the end and share judgment together.
very well, my lord.
The king and servants come. Get these to that place. I must stand idle.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent favor, the chameleon's dish.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
Nor mine neither. Good sir, you did say you played in the university, did you not?
That I did, my lord. It was accounted a good act.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
Such a brutal part to kill so capital a cat. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
I'll say where Meadow's more attractive. Shall I sit upon your lap?
No, my lord.
I meant rest my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Did not think I meant country matters.
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought, to sit between a maiden's legs.
You are not, you are not. I'll mark the play.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round, with Neptune's salt wash and Tellus orbit round. Since love our hearts and kindness in our hands, unites mutual, most sacred.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheering from your former state. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fears grow great, great love grows there.
Oh, I must leave thee, love, which brook too. When offered hearts their motions cease to do, and thou shalt live in this fair world high, honored, beloved, and happily one is kind for husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest, such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first.
I do believe you think now what you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. Where joy most revels, grief doth most laments. Grief joys, joy grieves on slender accidents. The world is not for aye, nor 'tis not strange, but even our loves should with our fortunes change. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, die thy thoughts when thy first one is dead.
Nor earth to me give food, nor heaven light. Sport and repose lock from me day and night. Each opposite that blanks the face of joy, meet what I would have well, and it destroy. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife, if, once a widow, ever I be a wife.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fan with beguile tedious days.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
What think you of this play, madam?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
I shall keep her word.
What do you call the play?
A mousetrap. It depicts a murder in Vienna. We shall see it on. But no worries upon your majesty, and those that have souls as pure shall have nothing to worry. Aye, here comes Luciana, nephew to the king.
You're as good as a chorus, my lord.
Could I speak from that prospect, like a guy with the dolly and puppets?
You are keen, my lord, you are keen.
Begin murder. Revenge of the crow doth bellow.
Thoughts, black, hands apt, drugs fit and time agreeing, Confederate season, else no creature seeing, thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected, Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life usurp immediately.
The king rises!
Give me some lights! Away!
Lights, lights! Lighting my whole fire!
This 19 years shall weep, and all in cold flesh, and some will rest, and some will fall, and all the world shall say, Did thou see?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the poisoning.
Very well noted, then.
Come some music, come the recorders.
Good, my lord. Vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir, is in his retirement, marvelous, distempered. The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, has sent me to you.
Why, you are welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to give me a wholesome answer.
I cannot.
What, my lord?
Man, you a wholesome answer, for my wit's diseased. Now to the matter of my mother, therefore we should go.
Your mother desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
Then we shall obey. Were she 10 times our mother. Have you any other trade for us?
My lord, you once did love us.
And you still wear these pickers and stealers.
Good my lord, what is your cause of distemper? You do surely bar the door on your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancements. Aye, come the reporters. Sir, shall you play?
My lord, I cannot.
I beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
Hi, it is as easy as lying to cover the holes with the fingers and thumbs and force through the breath to create such an eloquent music. Come, here are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Aha! Then you can consider myself so unworthy. For you claim to play me, you claim to know my stops, you claim to be able to pluck for the mystery of my heart, you know my lowest note and my highest compass. You think you cannot play a pipe, but you can play upon me? Shabloods, what does that say about me? Am I to be an instrument that you can pluck but cannot play? What say you? God bless you!
My lord, the queen would speak with you and presently.
Then I shall go to her by and by. By and by, so easily said. Leave me, friends. Now it is the witching hour. And with the graveyard yawns, and from hell such a contagion itself rises. I must go upon my mother. I shall speak daggers to her, but use none. I shall be cruel, but not unnatural. And go whosoever where she is sent. I pray to my mother's consent.
I like him not, nor it stands safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore, prepare yourselves. I your commission shall forthwith dispatch, and ye to England shall along with you.
We will ourselves provide.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage. Brutal fetters put about this fear, which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My offense is rank. It stinks to heaven. It hath upon it the primal of this curse of brother's murder. Pray can I not, though the inclination be strong as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And here, like a man in double business bound, I stand and pause, where I shall first begin and both neglect. What if this hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force to be forestalled ere we come to full? Or if being down, I'll look up. My fault is past. But what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive my foul murder? That cannot be, for I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. Crown my own ambition and my queen. Can one be pardoned and retain the offense? Try what repentance can, what can it not? But what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state, O bosom black as death, blind soul that struggling to be free art more engaged. Help, angels, make essay. Bend stubborn knees, and heart with strings as strong as steel. Be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
And I shall do it packed. If he is praying, then I should do it. Then I be so revenged, since he is sent to heaven. Oh, I would be sounded. A villain kills my father, and I, his only son, should send the same villain to heaven? Well, that is higher in salary, not revenge. Why, he took my father grossly, full of bread, with his crimes broad blown, flush as May, and I sent his audit, save no heaven. Would I then be revenged, the purging of his soul while he's fit in season for the passage? No. Hold up, dagger. For you shall know more hoard hence, when you are drunk as sleep, or in thy rage, or incestuant pleasure in the bed making. You shall relish in no salvation. And then you will be tripped. Your heels will kick up towards heaven, and your soul shall be as damned, as black as hell, whereto you are going. But my mother stays. Thy physics prolong these sickly days.
My words fly up. Thoughts remain below. Words without deeds never to heaven go.
Evil comes straight, looking like home to him. Tell him that his pranks have been too broad to bear him, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. Ensconce me even here. Pray you, be round with him.
I'll warrant you, hear me out. The drop, hear me coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, thou hast my father you much offended.
Come, you speak with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with the wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet? Have you forgot me?
Nay, not at all. You are the queen. You are my father's brother's wife. And were it not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, sit you down. Come, you shall not budge. Stay here, while I retrieve a glass where you may see the innermost part of yourself.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Help!
Murder! Help! Help! Murder! Help!
How now, a rat? Dead bird, you got dead!
Oh, I'm slain.
What hast thou done?
Nay, no, not. It is not the king.
Oh, what rash and bloody deed is this?
Oh, rash and bloody deed indeed. Almost as bad, good mother, as to kill a king and to marry his brother.
Has kill a king?
Aye, 'twas my word. Treacherous, wretched old fool this is. I took thee for thy better. Of a piece, remain you seated, where I shall bring out your hark, and proof and bulwark against all sense upon you.
What have I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such horrid an act, that heaven doth blush at it, makes wedding vows as false as dart their oaths. Heaven hath thy face below, that against its compoundment and solid commonatory shall all against itself act.
I mean, what act that thou roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here, upon this counterfeit president, and stand looking of two brothers. Look, the grace upon his brow, like Hyperion's curve, be the face of Jove. This was your husband. And look you now what follows? This be your husband now? Oh, like a mildewed ear, blast down this wholesome brother. You cannot call it love, for at your age your blood curdles and awaits its own judgment. Shame on you! Where is thy blush?
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and graven spots as will not leave their taint.
You be a murderer, a villain. No part 20 at the tip of the precedent came before him. He be a thief that steals a precious item from a shelf and puts it in his pocket.
No more. No more. No more.
He be a king of trashes. Oh God! Oh God! Where does that come in angels and ministers of grace? Why is thou here?
Alas, he's mad.
Do not come your tardy son to chide, for in this lapse of passion and time that I did forget thy commandments.
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How dost thou, madam?
How does it be that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Look how pale he stands! See you nothing there?
Nothing at all.
Look how he goes. He assumes the father's visage, and now he's entering back through the portal. Look upon it.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
And throw away the worst part of it, and live pure with the other half. Good night. But I hope you go not to my uncle's bed. Assume some sort of virtue if you can. Once again I say, good night. Heaven hath it pleased to punish me such, be such a scourge and minister. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus worse begin, and bad remains behind.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast done to me.
I must for England, you know that.
Alack, I've forgotten. 'Tis so concluded on.
The letters are already sealed. These excellent schoolfellows of mine be the ardent in their school fangs. They marsh me with their knavery. But it is such a sport that the engineer to hoist his own petard. Come you, good fellow, lest your night draws to an end. Good night, good brother.
everyone. At this point, we will be taking a brief 15-minute intermission. Thank you.
Oh my lord, what I have seen this night!
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, as with both content which is the mightier. In this lawless state, hearing something behind the arrest stir, cries a rat, whips out his rapier and kills the unseen good old man.
Heavy deed! It had been so with us had we been there. And alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, over which his madness, like some ore, shows itself pure. He weeps for what he has done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. No sooner shall the suns the mountain touch than we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet, in his madness, hath Polonius slain. I pray you go, seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. Make haste in this. Oh, Gertrude, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed. The software noise, who calls upon Hamlet?
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it to dust, whereto it is kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
You should not believe it.
Believe what?
That I shall hold your counsel and not my own. Besides, to be demanded by a sponge? Oh, what replication should be made to the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, indeed, that soaks up the king's countenance, his authorities, his rewards. But those who make the best officers of the king in the end. Aye, we need something gleaned from you. He but squeezes, and you, sponge, are then dry.
I understand you not, my lord.
I'm glad of it.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Oh, nothing. Come, we shall go for him.
Dangerous is it that this man goes loose. Yet we must not put the strong law on him. He's beloved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment, but in their eyes. The sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Ho, Guildenstern! Bring in my lord!
Now, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, where he is eaten. There's a certain political convocation of worms that do aid to him. I, for worm, is the chief emperor of the diet. We fatten creatures so that we may fat ourselves. We fat ourselves only for the maggots. That is the end.
Alas, alas, where is Polonius?
If he be in heaven, send a messenger for him. And if you find him not there, then you should go seek him out yourself in the other place. Oh, but indeed, if a month or two goes by, then you shall notice him going up the stairs to the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay until you come.
Good Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for what thou hast done, must ship thee hence with a fiery quickness. Therefore, prepare thyself for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Well then, fairly well, mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
No, mother. For mother and father are husband and wife, and husband and wife are the one flesh, so therefore, you are my dear mother. Now come for England.
Follow him at foot, tempt him with speed abroad. Delay it. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done, which else leans on the affair. Pray, make haste. And England, if ever, my love, thou holdst at aught, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which now imports at full, through letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
She is unfortunate, indeed distract. Her mood will need to be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father. Says she hears those tricks in the world, hems and beats at her heart, spurns enviously at straws, and speaks things in doubt that make but half sense. It were good that she was spoken with, for she may construe dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sinister nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself in fear to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
Why, how now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another? With his cockle hat and staff and his sandwich.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf, lady. At his heels a stone. Oh!
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you mark. White his shroud as mountain snow.
Alas, look here, my lord.
How do you, pretty lady?
What God ill do? They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father? How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think how they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know it. And so I thank you for your counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Give her good watch, Horatio, I pray you. This is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not as single spies, but in battalions. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without which we are but pictures, mere beasts.
Alack, what noise is this?
Where are my splitters? Let them guard the door. What's the matter?
The ocean, overbearing in its lists, eats not the flax with more impetuous haste than young Laertes. The rabble call him lord, and as the world were now to begin, they cry, "Choose we, Laertes shall be king."
How cheerfully on the false trail they cry, "Oh, this is counter, you false Gatish dogs!"
The doors are broke!
Oh, thou vile king, give me my father! Good Laertes!
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looms so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. Tell me, Laertes, why art thou thus incensed? Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How can he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence, let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged for stealing my father.
Who shall stay you?
I will not all the world.
Good Laertes. If you wish to know the certainty of your father's death, is't writ in your revenge that, soup's sake, you will slay both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
Oh, to his good friends, thus wide all of my arms, and let me hide my thundering hell, you repass them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death shall as level to your judgment pierce as the day does to your eye.
Now what noise is that? Oh, heat! Dry up my brains! Tears 7 times sovereign of the sense and virtue of mine eye! By heaven, thy madness shall be paid with weight till our scale turn the beam! Oh, rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia, oh heavens! Is it possible a young maid's wish is in the most old man's life? Nature is fine, love, and words is fine, that some precious innocence of its soul after it loves.
They bore him barefaced on the pier. Hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty. And it is braver and many a tear. Fare you well, Nita.
There's nothing's more than matter.
There's Rosemary. For remembrance. Pray you loved. Remember? And here are pansies. For thoughts. There's fennel for you. For columbines. There's root for you. And some for me. We may call it Herba Grace Sundays. You must wear your root with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you violets, but they withered all when my father died. Poor Bonnie, sweet Robin is all my joy. And will he not come again? And will he not come again? Oh no. He is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. And we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul. And to all Christian souls, I pray God be with you.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me the right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will. Let them hear and judge twixt you and me. By any direct or collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give to you in satisfaction. But if not, be content to lend your patience to us, and we will jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, or hatchet, or his boast, no noble right or formal ostentation, cry to be heard, as for from heaven to earth, that I must call within question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
Who are they that they would speak with me?
Seafaring men. They say they have letters for you.
Let them come in. I know not from what part of the world I should be addressed from, if not from Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir.
Mother bless thee too.
You shall, sir, and please him. Oh, there's a letter for you, sir. It comes from the ambassador bound to England. If thou name be Horatio, as I am led to know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. Instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy. But they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent. Prepare thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear that will make thee mute. They are much too light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that knoweth time. Hamlet. Come, I will make you way through these your letters, and do it speedier, that you may take me to him to whom you brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and put me in your heart for a friend. Sith have you heard, and with a knowing ear, that he who hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats so crimeful and so capital in nature.
For two special reasons, which to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, and yet to me they are strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself I could not but by her. The other motive is the great love the general public bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affections, convert his gyves to graces, so that mine arrows would have reverted to my bow again, and not where I had aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven to desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for this. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beards be shook with danger and call it pastime. Shortly shall know more. I loved your father, We love ourselves, and that I hope will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
My lord, letters from Hamlet. This to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, they say, my lord. I saw them not. They were given to me by Bernardo. He received them and him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall ye beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and most strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean?
Know you the head?
'Tis Hamlet's character. If he be returned at checking at his voyage, and means no more to undertake it, I shall work him a plot which is now ripe in my device. For his death no wind of blame shall breathe, that even his mother shall uncharged practice. Call it an accident.
My lord, I shall be ruled. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You've been talked of since your travels much, and in Hamlet's hearing, for a quality wherein, they say, you shine.
What part is that, my lord?
2 months since, here, which does men of Normandy, for your rapier most especial, he did confess, 'twould be a sight indeed if anyone could match you. Sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, that it did cry out and wish and beg nothing more than your sudden coming over to play with him. Now, out of this.
What's out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you?
Why ask you this?
Not that you do not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it. And we should do when we would. For this wood changes and hath as many abatements as our tongues, our hands, our accidents. Hamlet comes back. What would you do to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in word?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize, and revenge should have no bounds. But, Laertes, should you do this, keep close yourself within your chambers. Hamlet, being returned, will know you are come home. Set forth those to praise your excellence, and set a wager on your heads. He, being remiss, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may select a sword unabated, and with it, in a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountain so mortal that no cataclysm so rare could save the thing from death that is but scratched withal.
Let's further think on this. If this should fail, 'twere better not assayed. Let me see. When you are hot and dry, and Hamlet calls for a drink, I'll have prepared for him a chalice of the nonce, whereupon but sipping, if he should perchance escape your envenomed stick, we'll find our purpose there. But stop, what noise? What, sweet Gertrude?
One wolf doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned. Oh, where?
There is a willow, grows a slanted brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, curled flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, which liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There, on the pendant boughs, her cornet leaves, clambering to hang. An envious sliver broke, went down her weedy trophies, and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid like a while they bore her up, at which time she chanted snatches of old tunes as one incapable of her own distress. But long could it not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lane to bloody death.
Alas, then she is drowned. Oh, too much of water hast thou poured, Ophelia, and therefore forbid my tears. But yet it is her trick. Nature her custom holds, let shame say what it will. Adieu, my lord, I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow that, Richard. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now I fear this will give it start again.
Buried in Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation? How can that be unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
The crowner has sat on her and finds a Christian burial.
It must be se offendendo, it cannot be else. For herein lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act.
Nay, but hear you, Goodman Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water, good. Here stands the man, good. If the man go to the water and drown himself, it is willy-nilly he goes. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he that is not guilty of his own death ends not his own life.
Will you have the truth on it? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out of Christian burial.
Why bear thou sayest? Oh, I'll put another question to thee. What is he that builds stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
Mass, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it. And when you are asked this question again, to say, a grave maker, the houses he makes shall last till doomsday. Go, get me in, fetch me a sweet liquor.
How unfeeling must a gentleman be to whistle at the grave day?
Custom hath made it for human property of easiness.
It's the hand of little business. Does turn out the daintier sense. Look how he throws across the jowls of his skull, like it was Cain's the first murderer. I shall not speak to them. Tell me, good sir, whose grave is this?
Mine, sir.
Aye. For it be thine, for thou dost lie in it.
You lie not on it, sir, therefore it is not yours for my part. I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Say it be so, for you say that you lie in it, but a grave is for the dead, not for the quick, so therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir, till away again from me to you.
How long hast thou been a grave digger?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it the day that young Hamlet was born, and he that is mad and sent to England.
What came he for England?
Why? Because it was mad.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark.
How long shall a body in the ground sit there and so rot?
If it be not rot before it die, it will last you some 8 year or 9 year. This skull here, this skull has sat here 3 and 20 years.
Who was it?
A pestilence on for mad road. Before to flag with Rhenish on my head once. This skull, sir, was York's skull, King Chester.
Let me see. Alas, Horatio, I knew this man well, poor Yorick. Oh, man of infinite jest, of excellent fancy. How many times did he have bear me upon his back? Now bored my imagination, as my gorge rises at it. How many times I did oft kiss these now flaming lips. Where is thy merriment, thy singing, thy songs that would once roar the tables such as thus? Oh, quite chop-fallen now, art thou? Now get thee to my lady's chamber, and I prithee make her laugh quickly. Horatio, I have one question for you.
What is it?
Dost thou think Alexander brought here in the ground such as thus?
Even so.
And we all shall return to more baser matters. For Alexander died, Alexander was buried, and Alexander became dust, and dust is of the earth, and the earth to the loam. Aye, why, this loam be the same that splits the cork in the beer barrels. But soft, I hear the king coming, we must go aside. queen, the courtiers. Who do they bring in here? And with such main rights indeed.
What's ceremony else?
Our obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. The death was doubtful. She should have crowned and sanctified and lodged. Yet here she is allowed her virgin krans, the maiden struments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing the requiem and rest as to peace-parted souls.
Later in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may Violet spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, that ministering angel will my sister be when thou liest howling.
What, the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been Hamlet's wife. I thought thy broad bed to have decked, sweet maid, and out of street thy grave.
Treble woe fall 10 times treble on that cursed heavy's wicked deed that thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the grip of wild blood, caught her once more in mine arms. Now, idle your dust upon the quick and gentle of this flat mountain you have made to o'ertopple Pelion, or the sky shattered of blue Olympus.
What? Who bears Ephesus against? And when summoned above the stars, be willing water hears.
The devil take thy soul!
What? There was none here.
Your lips!
Gentlemen!
I will stand here and fight, ere to my island shall wag. I love the dear Ophelia. I would have loved her more than 40,000 of your brothers could sum to my quantity.
He is mad, Laertes, for love of God, forbear him.
Oh, you stand here to whine and complain. I should be buried beside her. I loved you, but it is no matter. Like Hercules says he may, the cat will you, and the dog will have his day!
Wait upon him, Horatio, I pray you. Strengthen your patience to our last night's speech, or put the matter to the present push. Set some watch o'er your son. This grave shall have a living monument. Embowered of quiet, shortly we will see. Till then, patience in our proceeding leisure.
So much for this. Now to the others. Horatio, you do remember the circumstances?
Remember, of course, my lord.
Well then, upon that night, my heart there was such a fighting that I could not sleep. And rashness, praise be to all rashness, to discover some deep plan ere within appalls. Aye, out from my cabin I came, with my sea-gown scarf against me, and into their confines. I did finger upon their pockets, and I withdrew such a commission, returning back to mine. Upon opening and reading it, I did find, oh my heart, that with bated leisure I should have my head struck off.
Is that possible?
Aye, it says here in the commission. Read it at that leisure. Without here I proceeded though.
I beseech thee.
Aye. So I sat myself down, being netted, to write a new commission, a commandment from the king, at the affair, that upon the opening and reading, such a commandment of thus, that whoever, in the indifference more or less, should be executed.
So then, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
They have been heavy love to their employment. They are not near my conscience. Though I must say, I am quite sorry to the dear Laertes. I shall court his favor. Then this bravery of grief did summon from me such a towering passion.
Peace! Who comes here?
Your lordship is quite welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you. Does thou know this wetfly?
No, my lord.
Consider thyself quite gracious. It's a vice to know him.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I would impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I shall listen with all spirit of diligence. But I pray you, put upon this your head where it belongs.
I thank your lordship, it is very hot.
Why, in fact, it is actually rather cool. The wind is very northerly.
Indeed, my lord, it is a different cold.
Why, and again, it could be hot and sultry, or my complexion.
Exceedingly, sir, it is very sultry as it were. But my lord, his majesty bade me to signify to you that he had laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak feelingly of him, you shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman would see.
Ah, I suffer from no then perdition, indeed. And in this divide, I inventorily make fun of this dizzy arithmetic. But in verify extolment of it, I am indeed to be nothing for umbrage.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
Aye, for confidence, sure. For we should wrap more gentlemen in such a raw breath.
Sir?
My lord, would it not be possible to speak with an easier tongue?
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Laertes? I know you are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I speak not on his excellence indeed, compared to my own, but to know a man and to know oneself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon. The king hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed 3 hits. He hath laid 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
What if I say no?
I mean, sir, the opposition of your person in trial.
Then I shall take upon the good foils. As the gentleman has asked, and as the king will rain judgment, I shall go out and try to win, and if I lose, I shall only gain my shame and a few odd hits.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours.
This lapwing runs away with a shell on his head. You will lose this wager, my lord.
I think not. Ere my depart to England, I have been practicing on the daily, a dozen times more or so. I should not be betting against me. It is no matter.
My lord, if your heart tell you anything, obey it. I can forestall their repair hither. Tell them you're not fit.
Let there be wit. If I agree. Indeed, there is a certain providence in watching the falling of a sparrow. Better let it be good times. Let it be.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
I must say, be pardoned, dear Laertes. You have had audience or to have heard that my wit's disposition, is quite mad. But I have to challenge thee. Was Laertes really wrong by Hamlet? No, not. Hamlet was in the camp of the wrong, for my enemy is my own poor wit. But I must apologize. I never meant to shoot an arrow over the home and hurt such a brother as mine.
I am satisfied in nature whose motive in this case should serve me most of my revenge. I do receive your offer, well and love, and will not wrong it.
Come, give us the boils.
Come, one for me.
Aye, there should be no need. I shall be your foil. My own ignorance and the spark and fire of your skill shall light up into fiery disposition.
You mock me, sir.
No, not by this hand.
Set me the soups of wine upon this table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, the king shall drink to his better breath, and in this chalice a union shall he throw, greater than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come out.
Come, my lord.
1.
No!
Judgment.
A hit. Very probable hit.
Well, again.
Stay. to thy breath. This pearl is thine. Give him the cup.
Nay, I shall finish this match first. And you, what say you?
A touch! A touch, I do confess!
Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, wipe thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you, pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now. It is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third.
See you so. Come on!
Good night, everybody.
How about you now?
Part that barren sense!
I bleed from both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is the Laertes? As a woodcock in mine own spring jaws are getting justly killed with mine own treachery.
Like the mother, she swoons to see them bleed.
No! No! The drink, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet. The drink. I poisoned.
What are the doors? What treachery? Treason!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. The treacherous instrument is in thy hands, unabated and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Hamlet is poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
Aye, the poison venom. Be the venomous thus!
Treason! Treason!
Joy, my mother, you incestuous damned Dane!
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. I and my father's that come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
My dear Laertes, I shall join you soon. Wretched mother, adieu. Horatio, I am dead. Oh, and you, that looks on, pale and tremble, but stand in the audience, be mute, had I but the time! Oh, I don't. Horatio, I am dead, but thou livest. Give my report, please.
Never believe it. I am more an ancient Roman than a Dane. Look, there's some liquor left.
Oh, heaven forbid it! Oh. Horatio, thou livest. Thou that ever hold me in thy heart, go on, live, and spread the velocity of my message. Let the rest be silence.
No cracks. A noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. And let a flight of angels sing thee to thy rest.